Okay.
All right.
It's on. So whenever you want to do your countdown, I'm gonna mute
Well,
myself here.
wait for Mark to get ready.
Yeah, 1 second. You good, right? All right, I'm closing the door. All right, when I'm done, I'll let you know.
Mm. Dang. Yo, ain't no team drafting like the damn Raptors do either, man. Where do they
Yeah, they
find
got
these
it.
guys?
Yeah, they do. They good with it.
Where the hell do they find these dudes?
Cause they got a lot of people out there, right?
Yeah. Just a bunch of foreign, long, lanky dudes that can hit threes and play D. Like, what? Where are you getting all these guys from?
What's the score?
40-42. They up. But they shouldn't be up though. We're not playing bad. They're just hitting everything. They just hit another three. Like
Yeah,
it's
that'll
like,
calm down.
yeah, they just balling because they know they don't got no help. So they going all hard.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready
All
when
right, I'm
you
about to
are.
start it up.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2. What's good, everybody? This is Ace here, as always, with my partner Marcus, and we are about that sports life. You know what we came to do? We're gonna talk some sports, but before we get into that, man, what's going on, bro?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Just me and my youngin for the weekend. How are you?
Hey, man, I know the feeling, man. I got two of them things, two
Mm-hmm.
boys running around. Sometimes, got to do it, man. But I think that it's easier when it's me and them versus when it's her and them and no me.
Yes, because they test. They know what they can test with the woman.
Yeah, I feel like when it's me, I'm like, yo, shut
We good.
everything down right now, and we
Hmm.
good.
They know,
But
like boys know not to test the dad, and they know what they can get away with their mom.
and with me, I feel like also hand in hand in that, I'm a lot easier going on them. They're not cleaning their room every 5 minutes when they with me. Like it's just, I mean, just as long as you quiet and not fighting or breaking anything, I'm fine.
Hmm.
And you listen.
Same.
But I wonder, you'll be proud of me, man. I finally made my return to FanDuel.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I finally put my ticket. I went heavy though. I went big from like because I haven't done it in so long. I kind of went a little ham. I got like 9 games in.
Shit.
Yeah, I went crazy. I went crazy. No reason, no real good reason. Just went
You
crazy.
try to come
I,
up tonight, huh?
yeah, I did some parlays. I did some over unders. I was just,
Uh-huh.
I haven't done it in so long. I just was trying to test it out again, figure out where my little groove is gonna be.
Oh yeah, you already know. I'm a me and FanDuel have a good relationship sometimes. Sometimes they get on my bad side, but we still rock out.
Yeah, I put one in for this Celtics game. I'm still confident we're gonna win. But what I did
Hmm.
was I put the parlay in for Tice to get 10 points and he ain't getting no minutes in his first half. I'm like,
Uh,
that was a mistake. That might have been a
ah,
mistake. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll get his because really with Tice, it's just a matter of if Tatum and Brown is having a rougher game, then usually Tice will get some open shots in like in and around the paint. So that's all I'm looking for.
yeah. What I
Um,
would with that would I kind of would think Tice would get that too because with the Raptors having so many people out, you would expect y'all to get a lead and them to go to the second unit a little earlier and that allow Tice to get his. And that still can happen. It's not even
yeah,
halftime yet, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not really worried about it, but
I'm
I
rooting
I
for
do
you.
see Raptors not. They ain't come to play around. They ain't giving up. So
Oh no, they
I give
know.
them that. Yeah,
Yep.
they balling. But
Raptors are a tough team all the time. They play a good brand of basketball.
that's their DNA. But so all right, so because I was making my first time doing it, but I actually tuned in real quick to the Fox Sports. They got a little betting show.
Hmm.
It came on I think around 5. So I just kind of was watching to see if they had anything, any tips or anything I wouldn't have been thinking about. But one of the things that they talked about, they're betting on the odds of where Russell Wilson is going to go if traded.
Hmm.
Um, and they say that right now the somebody that has good odds that you wouldn't think that's kind of a surprise is the Raiders. Um,
Mm.
possibly a trade for Derek Carr. I thought that was interesting. Betting aside, it's like that wouldn't have been a team I would have thought of. Being in the running. But all right, so what do you think? You think Russ? Do you think that it's? I'm trying to think of a right word. You think it's his height, or you think that Russ is a possibility of him actually being traded? And if so, where?
Right now, I think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I kind of think Russ is not trying to force his way out, but he's more so trying to force his hand into having more say on roster development and stuff like that. And I think that's more of where it's leaning. But I do see a lane where the rift can become deeper, and then you could see a move happening. Like, let's say the draft gets here, right, and they feel as though Seattle's front office and Russ aren't fully on the same page in terms of how they want to go in the future. And then draft night, somebody like the Raiders gives the Seahawks a package of, say, Derek Carr, Henry Ruggs, and 2 first-round picks. Seattle may think about that. You know what I mean? That may be something that interests them. Like right now, I lean towards him not being traded because he's too good of a franchise quarterback to just give up if he's not forcing his way out. You know what I mean? Like we don't usually see that type of movement in the NFL unless someone forces their way out, like Stafford did, or I remember back in the day, Carson Palmer did it, and he actually fully retired and did everything to make sure he got away from the Bengals. So unless I see Russ really, really demand it, I expect him to stay in Seattle. Now, if it gets to the point where a trade does happen, I kind of think a team I would like to see him on, but I know it would never happen, is San Fran, because I think they have all the pieces there that he could succeed with. They're known to have a good running game. You know what I mean? They have a coach who knows how to utilize quarterbacks. They have no issue with committing to building to win now. But of course, they're in the same division, so Seattle would never give them Russell
That's
Wilson.
the main. Yeah, like
that Raiders one is interesting, and another team I think about would be the Patriots.
Yeah. Now, my thing is, I've never been the best with NFL trades and cap and all that works, because I know like when you guys traded Wentz, y'all still ended up with a bunch of dead money on your cap, right?
For this coming year, yes, we have like 38 or 39.
Confusing to me. I'm like, if you traded the contract, why is the money dead? But anyway,
well, I can explain that, but that's because dead cap money is the money you've already given him and guaranteed. You know what I mean? Instead of some teams taking the hit right away, they stretch it out through the life of the contract. But if that player is no longer on your team, you can't stretch it out. You know what I mean? You have to take the hit, and that's where the dead cap comes from.
Got it. Okay, that does make sense.
So like we have that hit this year, but going forward, that money's gone, and they'll be in a different situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I bring that up is that would apply in a situation of Russell Wilson being moved as well. So that's the reason why I don't know if I see him getting moved this offseason. Like you said, I think it's more of a posture and a play for him to get more power, because the thing about it, as good as Russell Wilson has been, and as much of a brand as he is, and as much presence as he has, I don't think he has a lot of control or a lot of say-so what goes on in that team. And even down to that offense, I think that Pete Carroll has a lot of control in that team offense and what happens. And you can see where it kind of can work in Russell's favor. And that was back in the Super Bowl when he put the ball in Russ's hands instead of trying to run it with Marshawn Lynch on the goal line. We all know what happened there. That's when it worked in his favor. Well, if it had worked out, it would have worked out in his favor because he'd have been that Super Bowl's MVP. But it also works against him when Pete Carroll still continues to want to run offense the way he wants it, as far as more run first, not necessarily, pass first and let Russ, unleashing what he can do. So I don't know that he has a lot of control, and I think this is a lot of his way of trying to assert that control. Now, the problem is going to be when you have a Super Bowl winning coach, uh, it all depends on how that organization views those two, whether or not they're willing to cede that, power to Russ, or if that becomes a friction. I could see him getting moved. If it does become a friction between Russ, Pete Carroll, and if the organization sides with Carroll, I can see Russ getting moved. And mainly because he can bring that type of return where it can be mitigated. And that brings me to where I think make sense is a trade between the Seahawks and the Cowboys, because of the situation with Dak and his contract, and the situation with Russ. It could a sign and trade situation could make sense. My only caveat to that is, like I said, at that point you're looking at like 70 million invested in quarterback. If you're Seattle, that's a lot of money. So it's a lot that would have to happen there.
I think that works more for you guys, the Cowboys, than Seattle. Well, where it works with Seattle is you're getting back a quarterback who's definitely more than capable of being a winning quarterback on a good team. That's the lock. But like you said, you'd have to pay whatever the dead cap money is on Russell Wilson. And then we all know Dak wants a big, big contract. He's not settling for nothing team friendly. Like if he was going to do that, he would have did it for Dallas. So if he's going to go anywhere else, he's definitely going to get every penny that he can, every penny that the open market says he's worth, which is probably going to be close to that $40 million mark. Now, compensation wise, that is, I think you could easily line that up for Seattle to get a nice return with Dak. And probably just even 2 first-round picks. I don't even think you'd have to go to 3 because you're giving up Dak, and everything would work out that way. Now, I didn't bring up Dallas as a possibility, and that's more because I don't want to see Russ on that team.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would. And to be honest, I don't think anybody would want to see that team. Only because that's the X factor with Russ, is that he is the type of player that can elevate a team to another type of level. And that's the only reason why I would be okay with it. If he can't, I just feel like his aura, his presence, the way he approaches the game would elevate our team to instant contention to me. But even with the issues that we have on defense, offensive line, and stuff like that, I still think that Russ he's done more with worse to me already.
Offensively, you guys would be out of control. That's number one. Like, no doubt about that. Offensively, the Cowboys would be scary. They're scary with Dak. Now, defensively is where the issue is still would arise. But like you said, we've seen Russell Wilson be productive with teams that do not have much defensively. Like, yes, Seattle still has more of you guys because they had Bobby Wagner still around, KJ Wright. Like, they were still some competent. What's the corner name? The twin, Shaquem Griffin. Like, they still had some pieces there. Whereas with the Cowboys, they're really kind of bare in that situation. They have to build that defense. And that's what I think your focus should be. I think the Cowboys' focus should be on keeping Dak and building that defense, because Dak has already proven to be good enough to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, do I see it happening at all? No. Do I see Dak and us being happy with Dak be the reason why it doesn't get done? No. I think it's more about Seattle and the money. I don't think that Seattle would want to bring in a quarterback that's going to be making more than the quarterback that they're sending out.
That they already have, exactly.
Yeah, yep. I don't think that would happen. That's the main reason why I feel like it doesn't happen. I think that it's a conversation that if it hasn't happened already, it'll happen. They'll talk about it. Or if Seattle is in any way entertaining moving Russ, it happens. The conversation does the actual. I think it's a lot would have to happen for that to even be an option.
Let me ask you this: to be signed and trade, Dak has to sign the franchise tag tender. And we know last year he did not.
Deal. He can sign an actual deal.
Yeah, but he has to do that before he can be traded.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, we know based off last year, he did not sign that tag until July, until damn near the deadline. because he wants a long-term deal, and he should want a long-term deal. Now, my question is, do you think he would help get that deal done and sign the tag early just to get that trade done?
Yeah,
like, I kind of feel like he would want to have full control of his next destination.
I would say so, but I think two things I would say. One, I think he would do it because if it meant that he's going to get the long-term deal that he's seeking for the money he wants, I think he'd be interested in that. And two, I think that Seattle would be a team that would work for him. I think that if you tell him you're going to be the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks and you get DK Metcalf and you get Tyler Lockett, and you get Pete Carroll as a coach, I think that's something you can sell to Dak Prescott if he knows that this is the end of the line with the Cowboys. Because basically that's what that would be saying.
Absolutely. So you're saying I think what it would have to be is his agent would have to speak to Seattle first and kind of have the framework of a deal done.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, it's like, okay, I'll sign the tender, but I know once this trade's completed, we're going to get a deal done.
Exactly. That's what would have to happen. It had to be something in that realm. Like I said, very far-fetched to me, but I think that it's a scenario that would be appealing. I think it would be appealing to both sides in different ways.
I actually don't think it's as far-fetched as I may want it to be. I want it to be extremely far-fetched because I just don't want to see. The Eagles cannot beat Russell Wilson, period. I've not even seen it happen in my lifetime. To have him come to Dallas, I'm good on that.
It's just you think about it like this. If you're looking at a swap like that, and it's not a high draft pick to select a new quarterback, and we're actually swapping a quarterback, Derek Carr versus Dak Prescott, I think you would go
Not
Dak
even
Prescott.
A question. That's
why I can see that. But real quick, what I want to do is we just so happen to be lined up with the NBA All-Star draft special that they're gonna do. Basically, we got Captain LeBron James and Captain Kevin Durant gonna be picking their squads for the All-Star game this weekend. So I want to we're gonna check it out. As they make their selections, we'll give a little commentary, a little review on it. Already, I don't know I think you saw it. We talked about it earlier. There's been a report that LeBron's first pick is going to be Giannis. An early report from Shams Charania. What you think? What's your opinion on that?
Well, my first opinion is I wish Shams would chill out. He want to break everything. My man be telling it all before anything even goes down. But outside of that, I guess Giannis is a nice pick. Personally, if I had the first pick, it would be either Embiid or Steph. No disrespect to Giannis. I just feel like in the all-star setting, I either want a dynamic scorer or shooter just because of the excitement level, or I'm taking Embiid, who, if I have him on my side, the other side has nothing to answer for him.
I'm thinking Steph, if I'm LeBron, only for the moment of having a team with LeBron and Steph on it at the same time. When have we seen it? Ever?
Never. They were the two captains until the Giannis stuff started, and then Giannis kept picking Steph first.
Yeah, that's why.
And then Steph got hurt.
We'll talk about that a little later. But some things you got to just do for the moment, for the culture. Like, it's worth it. Just do it. I think Bron and Steph on the same team would just been, a moment for this All-Star game in this weird year.
I kind of think he's thinking that same way, but with Giannis, because Giannis has become that second to him. Like, he's won back-to-back MVPs. He's kind of thinking that's the next guy. But I feel you. Like, LeBron and Steph have a history already, a battle, that rivalry is there. So to see them together that'd be great. That's, like you say, that's one for the basketball culture that we will remember for a long time.
I'm saying, if you're gonna do that, like you said, like the next lineage, it would be Luka. If you're gonna do that, you do it with Luka.
Yeah.
Because Luka is the one that's gonna be next. Like, Giannis is now. Giannis is now. It just so happens that Bron doesn't know how to relax. So Giannis can't fully take over, but Giannis is now. Luka is next. So that
Let
would
me
be the one I would say you pick if you want to get that look.
let me ask you this, because I have my own opinion, but I want to hear yours first. KD's not playing in the game. How do you feel about him still being the captain?
I I only like it because it's from the fans' vote. So from my point of view, because the fans voted him the second highest, I think he does deserve some type of input. You know what I mean? Something he needs, he deserves some type of look. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. Because it's like, if not him, then who at that point?
Uh, my options for who it had to be somebody from the East. Thought it should have been either uh, Kyrie or Embiid, because they're both starters and they both have pretty much the same cliche. If they're just as big as stars as Durant, and they're playing in the game. Like, of course, it's nothing against KD. He's an all-time great Hall of Famer. Everything. Just the fact that he's not playing, I kind of like, okay, maybe he should be moved to the side. But they didn't do it that way. It probably is a lot because of what you said, that the fan focus is Durant and LeBron.
I didn't think he was going to be the captain anymore or
Me
be
either.
picked at first. So I immediately switched to who is going to be the captain. But then the fact that they did it, that doesn't bother me. I'm like, I get it. The fans
Mm-hmm.
voted him in. He is the captain, so let him pick the team. At least he can do so. I mean, it's not necessarily his fault that he got hurt. Where especially, like I said, it's unique year with the way the year is
because
and
he's really
him coming
not
back off the
hurt.
Achilles.
I think it's more like that.
Yeah,
We're not about to put you through playing an All-Star game in a shorter year, and you're coming off the Achilles. Nah, irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah.
We're not about to do that. We never have a team that wants to try to push for a championship.
Exactly.
But I wanted from a storyline perspective, I thought LeBron versus Kyrie, big time story there. Or LeBron
cool.
and Embiid are the two leaders for MVP right now. That's another one. That's
Both of those would have been cool.
Kind of where my head was going.
I think Kyrie would have worked the best because Kyrie is on the same team as KD. So if you taking KD out, at least you put another net in there who is the other top team right now that they the buzz would be Lakers Nets. So I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, so like I just was trying to, because we all know the LeBron Durant storyline is perfect. That's the two big dogs, and they've been that for a long time. But unfortunately, he's not playing this year, and I'm glad he's not playing because I want to see him at his best come playoff time.
Yeah,
even though I'm a Sixers fan, even though I know for where the Sixers are right now, them and the Nets kind of like they're on a collision course for the Eastern Conference Finals. And the fan in me would love to say, oh, yeah, I wish Durant wasn't playing. But I love the game too much for that. I want the best of the best to be going against each other at the same time. Just like last night with the Sixers and Jazz, I was glad everybody was healthy. Conley was back, Embiid was back. Like the first time we played each other, it was a good game, but there were some guys missing, This time, everybody was there, both sides fully healthy, and that's why we got a great game like we got last night.
Yeah, no, like you said, I mean, I'm a Celtics fan, so Sixers, Nets, I would have no skin in the game. That would mean that we already have been eliminated in the playoffs. But at the same time, part of me wants to see it. Part of me wants to see 7-game series, Sixers, Nets, fully healthy, both teams. Let's do it. I mean,
let's do it.
I mean, if my squad doesn't make it, but I get to see that, that'll be a good consolation prize. So
absolutely, that's why for me, if we don't get to the finals, I'm hoping for Lakers Nets, both sides fully healthy for the drama, for the competition. Like you got Kyrie versus LeBron, you got LeBron versus Durant, like you got AD trying to get his second. Like it's just so much there that would be impactful and give a great series. You got Harden trying to finally get over the hump to win a championship.
I think that's the biggest storyline of all.
That's right there. But for me, the biggest one is, can Durant and Kyrie finally win championships away from the studs Hall of Famers they were with? Like Kyrie's championship is with LeBron. Kevin Durant's championship is with the greatest shooter of all time. Yes, Durant was the best player, and he won MVPs in those finals. I give him his respect, but we do know who you played with, bro. Like, like we know you went to the best team, you got your championship. Cool, respect. This is different now. You win it this time, it's a different type of it's going to be viewed a little. It's kind of just like LeBron when he went back to Cleveland. We know you won in Miami, and me as a LeBron fan, I respected it as much as any other championship, but I knew others didn't, you know? So when he went to Cleveland and he got it done, and the way he got it done, it ended everything. There's no more talks about LeBron.
He definitely
being a
stamped it and
yeah.
validated. I don't think that, to me, with Kobe still being in the league, other guys, Dirk in the league, other guys, that championship back in Cleveland stamped him as the best on the planet.
Absolutely.
And the best in the league. Like that stamped him as, okay, that's the guy. Let's stop. You know what I mean?
Stop
as much
as
I'm admittedly not a LeBron fan. I never really could rock with the dude for, just it just wasn't, some guys you're just not a fan of. Maybe it was, I'm not going, it has to do with his come up through the Celtics. He ran into my Celtics when we were, during our run. We dominated that for a while. Then once he got to Miami, so
it was a wrap.
I always had a bad taste in my mouth, for LeBron. So it kind of, I never been a fan. But even after all of that, once he got to Cleveland and won that championship in Cleveland, the way he won it, I had to give it up to him on that one.
There we go.
First pick here.
Yeah, like we do Giannis. I really wish it would have been Steph. Like LeBron and Steph. I hope. Well, I can't see KD not taking Steph, but if he didn't, that'd be great.
The intrigue to me is who is going KD going to take? Is he going to go with his teammate Kyrie? Is he going to go with Brad Beal, who is probably the best scorer?
Kyrie. All right, you gotta pick Steph. He got it. LeBron and Steph and Giannis. Sheesh.
Oh my God, LeBron, Steph, and Giannis is. Let's see. So we got KD, Kyrie, which is, predictable.
Yep. We got it anyway. See, like, this is why, for me, KD not playing kind of messes things up. You know what I mean?
Get it on the court.
Yeah, he's not there. So now it's Kyrie and whoever else he picks, right? Versus LeBron, Steph, and Giannis.
You got to go Joel Embiid here because that's the only thing that gives you a chance.
Or Luka.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, you're right. He took Embiid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Embiid kind of still makes it a little. They can still.
But think about this:
competitive.
if Kyrie was the captain, right, and he took Steph after LeBron takes Giannis, that's a little more even. You know what I mean? Like KD not playing kind of stacks the board the other way, unless he gets another pick at the end because he's not playing, which I think might have that. Yeah, like come on.
Bron, Giannis, Steph, and Luka is a little nuts.
Come on.
I wonder if Brown and Tatum stay together. Oh yeah, I forgot. They only do the starters and then they do the reserves.
Kawhi. Yep. That's good. That kind of evens it back out. You couldn't have Kawhi on that team. I'm hoping LeBron takes Tatum and KD gets Bill.
I think LeBron got to take Bill. Just out of, I'm not passing.
Yeah, he took Jokic.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see you. I forgot about Jokic.
Because I didn't want Jokic and Embiid on the same team.
Yeah, no, that didn't make sense. All right, so then KD gonna get Bill. Bron will get Tatum. Yeah,
no. KD gets Tatum. Remember, because KD's not playing.
Oh, yeah, still. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Kyrie, Bill, and Embiid.
That's a good team, man. Yeah, that's a good team, man.
Terrible, but LeBron, Steph, Giannis, and Luka, bro.
It's gonna be interesting.
D-Wade is right. He do get to pick first every year. I don't know why he do.
Because he get the most votes. It goes by the fan votes.
True.
Whoever gets the
true,
most
true,
votes is the first pick.
True. Okay.
So it's nothing you can really do with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he's supposed to pick Steph. You and Giannis are the same.
Steph would have been.
Yeah, he said
But I
he
mean,
tries to. He said he tries
got
to pick the
Steph.
best player. Yeah, he got him anyway. He said he tries to pick the best player that fits his skill set, and to me, that's Steph Curry more than anybody.
I can see him and Giannis being good too, though. I mean, throwing lobs. I mean, shit like
Or
that.
All-Star game, I guess so. I'm thinking
Yeah.
too much of real basketball.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta think about it as it's the All-Star game, so
Yeah, exactly. Like KD said, yeah, like his team, his starters is kind of wild.
yeah, KD got to creep up on him on the reserves.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad Booker is in the game. We don't have to worry about him being snubbed.
Nah, he deserved that. He deserved that for sure. Should have been voted in or
Yep.
selected in.
And I wish my man Tobias would have got his chance, but he didn't. It's all good though.
That doesn't mean you gonna get more of what you got last night with
Yeah,
Tobias in the fourth quarter.
ticked off about that shit. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Dang. Oh yeah, my bad. My bad. It is Harden. My bad.
yeah, gotta be.
That's the obvious. My bad.
Yeah,
Dame is right there.
And-
Dame got to be next.
And Harden is one of them guys that could, make a big difference.
Yeah, Dame. Exactly. I forgot about Harden, really, when I said Dame was the obvious. But I will say Harden, because it evens it out a little bit. Because normally he's a starter level.
He should be a starter. So
This is now it gets interesting.
yeah,
like personally, I think I would go Devin Booker. Yeah, see, I was thinking the same thing.
I'm going PG. If I'm looking at that board, I go PG next.
I just me and PG can't. Yeah. He bothers me.
Devin Booker is
Devin Booker in an all-star setting, no defense. I want to see if LeBron usually always picks Ben. I want to see if he gets him again this year.
I'm also hoping that Jaylen Brown and Tatum get on the same team.
See, always. That's his boy. That's his boy. And KD made a little face. I think KD was thinking about him next too. Yeah. I see. As soon as he said his name, he made that face. Yeah, see? He wanted. I hope fans hear this because they disrespect Ben so much, but they need to know players think he is the real effing deal.
Oh yeah, the players know.
Zion. Okay. Yeah, that's him and Ben are kind of the same type of player. So if you was gonna take Ben, Zion's next.
Yeah, Zion is a good one.
His team's young.
Who's not that far off though, man? Talent wise, the team's not that. Even without KD, the team's not that far off.
It's Paul George or CP3. Yeah. It was for me. It was either him or Paul George next. Shout out to Chris Paul still being
Chris Paul's holding it down
at this point in his career, man. Like the Phoenix Suns are the 3 seed right now.
Yeah, I think they moved up to the 3 after the Lakers lost.
Remember when we first started kind of doing this? I said this was like early on. that I wasn't with people that thought Booker needed to be traded. Like I was saying, like they have the pieces, like they're young, they're growing, and they finally got a real coach in Monty Williams. And now you see once they added that last piece with CP3, the team's taking another leap. Aiton's turning into a real deal. Mikal Bridges is nice. Like we fucked that up. I'm sorry, excuse my language. We messed that up.
I could talk for a long time about that, how much that did not make any sense.
Let me say this.
Down to the fact that his mother worked for the Sixers was I'm like, what? What are y'all doing for the kid Zaire Smith? Like, what are y'all doing?
Let me tell you this. All right, so him and Jalen and Tatum not on the same team. So
that should be dope though.
After Brett Brown got fired, more of the truth came out. So Brett Brown really wanted Mikal. You know what I mean? That was the guy he was looking at 10. Now, ownership was thinking, this is our last time having a high pick, and we need to try to swing for the fences. And they felt like Zaire Smith had a higher ceiling. Where I say that thinking falls flat on his face is this. Michael Porter Jr. was still on the board. So if you were trying to go upside,
high ceiling,
just take him. You don't make a trade, you don't do anything. You just take Michael Porter Jr. and that's it. You know what I mean? If that's what you're thinking, if you're thinking, okay, we want to potentially hit a home run on our last lottery pick, because that wasn't our pick. We had got that in the trade. It was the Lakers pick, actually. If that's what you're looking to get, another home run, right? You got to take Michael Porter Jr. He was a guy that was supposed to be a top 5 pick, if not for the injury, right? So that's where the logic falls on his face. And I know Brett Brown was probably like, hey, I need to get out in front of this because this is going to mess me up for future jobs. That wasn't my decision. Like, I was picking Mikal. And Mikal
would have been perfect. A lot of the things that y'all have had to do since then, y'all wouldn't have had to do
negated.
Been negated.
It's really back-to-back drafts. It's Markelle Fultz not panning out, and then trading Bridges. Like if those two things don't happen, you might get to
and
where
both of those
you
are the same,
now,
almost the same
earlier.
type of thing. Doing too much. You just stay where you at. Even if you stay where you at,
I don't think we would have gotten. The Celtics were going to take Tatum 1 if they didn't get a trade.
But even if you just stay where you at and took Markelle,
you let the chips fall how they went. Now, my dad has a little different theory. He kind of thinks the Sixers knew that, the Celtics may take Tatum 1, but Markelle had just had a great workout with the Lakers, and they felt like they'll take him and forget the whole Lonzo LA thing. You know what I mean? That they would, and then Lonzo and Ben didn't fit at all. You know what I mean? Like, so that's where they kind of looks like they got chumped into taking, making a move. You know what I mean? Because they were like, okay, we need Fultz or Tatum. That's the two we wanted. Brett Brown was in love with Tatum. Colangelo wanted Markelle. I wanted Markelle, so I'm not even going to front on that. Like I was feeling.
So I don't act like I knew what Tatum was going to be.
Everything about him was screaming Kyrie Irving, James Harden level talent. Like if you watched him growing up, watched him in college, like he's the real deal. Even that summer league, he was the real deal. It's just things went awry with his shot, with his shoulder. There's rumors that it was a motorcycle accident, all types of stuff. We don't know what really happened. But the kid you saw at Summer League was everything you wanted. The kid that came to the preseason have no clue what happened.
Yeah, I mean, shouts to folks. Seemed like he's putting something together in Orlando, but then he got hurt. So
ACL, he's always, his athleticism never left, and that was always a strength of his. Something that I always say, that's what, even if he never gets his shot back, his athleticism was going to keep him in the NBA because he was able to get to the lane and get to the basket with ease, even when he was having his shot problems. His shot still is funky, like it still doesn't come off clean, but he's starting to make it more. So more, what that says to me is he's kind of adjusted to what it is now, and he's no longer trying to force his way back to what he was.
Exactly.
And I hope a lot of his issues are upstairs. So I hope this injury doesn't make him fall back into his mental stuff where he's putting so much pressure on himself, blah, blah, blah. Because if he doesn't, if he comes back fine and that athleticism doesn't take a hit, it shouldn't. ACL tears aren't the same like they used to be. Him and Cole Anthony are an interesting backcourt. Because Cole Anthony has showed some promise this season. He had a little injury right now too, but he's showing that he got picked way later than he should have. And people, I think a lot of people should have deleted his season when he came back with UNC. Just look at the season before he got hurt, because that was a top 5 pick. He was doing everything. He was scoring 30 at 20. Like, he was doing it all. He was looking like everything you wanted. Then he tears his meniscus, has the little surgery, fights back to come back, and was never himself again. He's playing at 70%.
100%, you could tell.
You know what I mean? Like, but people have to ignore that and just say, okay, let me see him at 100%. And at 100%, you can never tell me there were 5 guys in that draft better than him.
Yeah, no, he's proven that. I think he's already showed that, that was, other teams, being a little too cautious.
Overthinking. Yeah,
overthinking. Exactly. That's what I'm looking for.
Just like Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, but like you said, I think that Cole Anthony and Marco Fultz is in today's NBA. That's a good backcourt right there. That's something you could kind of build around. And that's one of the things I want to talk about. I guess we could kind of, work on that and for another show. Some little bit of trade deadline talk. But I feel like the Orlando is a team that can make some moves. Like, I think that this season is a weird season, and I don't think a lot of star top level talent is going to be available as far as trade deadlines and things like that. But I do think that a team like the Magic can come up and kind of position themselves to build around young players that they have. They got another great young player that's hurt right now, Jonathan Isaac. He's hurt. I think having an all-star in Vucevic right now that doesn't necessarily fit the timeline with some of those guys. That's to me, that they got one of the best trade chips in the league. Him and Aaron Gordon, to me, you could trade both of those guys and come back with a lot. Even Evan Fournier could get you some stuff back. I think that they could make a haul this trade deadline, just because they're one of the only teams I think that have assets to move and bring some stuff back.
And should be willing to move them. Yes, they are. Like, because we all know the Bulls have a major asset in Zach LaVine, but they don't want to move him, and I understand why not. With Orlando, I was looking more at Aaron Gordon. Like, he's solid, but he's not special. Like, he was drafted to be special. He never reached that height. But I do think if you put him on a winning team and he's the 3rd or 4th option, that he would be very impactful for someone. So I would like to see that happen, him being moved to a team that could use some front court help. And his shot has grown over time. Evan Fourier, I didn't even think about that. Now that he would fit the Sixers also. He's another type of player that if he gets on a contender, that could be the piece that takes them over the top. You know what I mean? Like, along with Kyle Lowry.
And that's the funny thing. Any one of those three guys will be great on any team as a 3rd option. Any one of those 3.
Vucevic, if Boston got Vucevic, y'all will be right back in the conversation.
Exactly.
Like, if you Tatum and Brown, Kemba and Vuk, because that's your hole right now is in the front court. We all know that. He would fix that immediately.
Well, I heard there's some rumors today. Like I said, we'll get back, towards the trade deadline and really talk. But I heard today the rumors are our 2 top targets right now is Vucevic and Jeremy Grant from the Pistons.
The Grant one.
When I see that, I was like I could see it. I could see that, because
Grant doesn't have the size.
But that's the thing. I don't necessarily know if we need a center or the size as much. It probably you'd have to be someone that actually has been watching over these last 3 games, this 3-game winning streak, Robert Williams, I picked from 2 years ago. He's really starting to break out.
Yeah, I think it's a little more than that now, but I know you're talking about.
No, I think he had his rookie year. He was hurt last year, and this is his
third year.
Yeah,
third year. That's what I was thinking. Because I remember he bust my Tar Heels butt in the tournament.
Yeah,
It was
ugly. He's showing to a greater understanding of the game to match that athleticism. And to me, if those 2 things come together, I don't think that we necessarily need to go out and invest a lot of money and a lot of minutes in another center. And that to me is the thing. It's like once you invest money into Vucevic, if you do that, then that's minutes. He has to play. Whereas I think like you got Rob Williams right now, and he's starting to look. The more minutes he gets, the better he's looking. I'm like, I think maybe we should relax with that. I think like Jeremy Grant, Aaron Gordon, if he gets bought out, even a Blake Griffin. Those are 3 guys where I think that they can help us at the 4, space the floor a little bit, rebound, and just score, right out score. All 3 of those guys can score.
I definitely could see once Blake is brought out, I can see the Celtics being high on his list of wanting to go to, because 1, they're a contender, especially they would be even more of a contender with him, and there's an immediate role for him to walk into. I don't think Jeremy Grant's going to be traded. He just signed a big deal there. He's still young. I kind of think the Pistons are going to view him as part of the rebuild. So I wouldn't get my hopes up for that one. Blake Griffin is one, I've been talking about him a lot because I hate how his career is just being wasted away in Detroit. I really want him out of there. That would be a nice, that would help you guys for sure. Vucevic is the number 1, but it's about what you're going to give up to get him. That's where that question.
If you get Vucevic, you might as well send a Robert Williams and at least a Tristan Thompson out to get him, because you're not doing anything with either one of those guys if you get a Vucevic. It's almost a waste.
Yeah, I think Tristan Thompson would definitely have to be in it. Probably even to match the money. I think you can keep Robert Williams as your backup 5. Would be if you send out Thompson and Theus and whatever else they would want to make the deal comparable for the Magic. Vucevic is your main guy. Robert Williams is the second unit guy. That works.
I might want to. I would want to keep Tice over Robert, just because Tice is the more versatile big man. He helps a lot in the playoffs as far as being able to switch, do things like that.
Absolutely.
I don't know about Vucevic's ability to do those things. I'm not really.
Nah, his feet aren't he's not the quickest guy on his feet. He's not a bad defender either, but when we were talking pick and roll defense, I don't know if he can do that. But I do think Robert Williams can grow into that versatile.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think he just hasn't had the time to develop that yet.
Yeah, and that's the biggest. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to. Yeah, I really want him to get minutes and see what he can really do. Because from what I've been seeing from him, the sky's almost the limit. Like the guy,
he got game.
He's one of those guys.
He's a hustler.
You know who I compare him to? A guy that I wanted 2 years ago, Clint Capela. He really reminds me of a Clint Capela, a rim runner. Defensively, he changes shots, he blocks shots, and
that bounce.
He's that guy. Like when Clint Capela and Harden were going, when Harden came off that pick, it was almost as soon as he came off the pick, he just threw the lob. Just throw the lob. And Rob Williams has been almost the same thing over the last 4 or 5 games. Just come off Kemba's coming off the screen, just throw the lob up. He's going to get it. And like
he's not a bad shooter either.
Yeah, he's decent. He's decent around the rim. He makes he almost is one of those guys that makes smart basketball plays, but you can tell he's not even thinking about it. He's just making the play, but it's like that was a good play. That was a smart play, but he's not even thinking the play. He's just instinctual. He got a lot of real good instincts that I think is coming with the more minutes he gets. So
that's why I say, like, as a second unit piece, that would be fine if y'all made the Vucevic move. But like you said, Thompson and Theus would have to be out of there. Let's just wrap up. We saw the draft just now.
Yeah.
We know LeBron's starting 5 is very good. We got LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and last was oh shoot, who was the last person?
Jokic.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic. That's his 5. And for KD, we have Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, and was one Kawhi Leonard. There you go. I think both the addition for KD is that he has James Harden coming off the bench, and that kind of really evens things out with the 5 that LeBron has. So it kind of played out better than I thought it was with KD not being in there. I did kind of forget that Harden was not a starter anymore. So that extra piece is really going to help them. And then you saw that he has Devin Booker. He has not Damian Lillard. He has Zion Williamson. Yep. And then he took another Levine. That's what I was thinking about. Yep. He has Booker, Zion, and Levine. Like he
got some
all
guns.
the young, newer all-stars were all kind of on Durant's team. LeBron's team is more of the elder statesmen, the ones that's been there. And even his young guys have been all-stars before with Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell. It's not their first go-arounds. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I wish some of those names that we just said were going to take part in the dunk contest. We're starting to get to an era again where the dunk contest is going to dip because the names aren't there.
To me, I feel like it's just a big missed opportunity. It's a very large missed opportunity for the NBA and for Zion Williamson. I feel like a lot of basketball fans, the first time we really took notice of Zion was watching viral videos on YouTube of him dunking and doing amazing things that you never thought a human being that looked like that could do.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to, to his credit, become an actual player, and go to Duke, become the number 1 pick, come to the NBA and live up to those expectations and look like exactly what we thought. It will kind of come full circle for him to do this dunk contest, his first opportunity to do it. And it's just, I think, like I said, I think it's just a missed opportunity all the way around. And like you said, it would have brought a lot more cachet and, buzz back to the dunk contest. We haven't seen that level of interest in the dunk contest since the Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon contest
Yep.
what was that, 4 or 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like if you had this year even if it was the same field as right now, just you add Zion, or even if you're only going to do 3, swap out one of those other guys, Zion, Obi Toppin,
and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards, I don't as much because he's not an all-star, so he wasn't going there. For him to just be going there for the dunk contest, I'm kind of like, all right, I can see turning
the
that
other
down.
guys. Yeah, the other guys aren't,
but they need to look.
There.
Anthony Edwards doesn't necessarily need to look as much. So it's like I could see Anthony Edwards saying, "I'm."
What about
cool
Donovan Mitchell doing it again? That would have been a good one.
No, but that ties back to what I'm saying. What I was going to say,
he's there already.
If Zion would have did it, I feel like other guys would have wanted to do it. You might have got Zach back out there. You might have got Aaron Gordon back out there. You might have got Donovan back out there. You might have been able to get some of those guys back out there to do it because the buzz would have been there. It would have been, Zion doing it?
Definitely would have brought the buzz. I don't think we'd have got Aaron Gordon after the robbery that happened to him.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, damn D-Wade. I think that's over. Like, that was so messed up.
Yeah,
I fully agree. I do not like this trend of the bigger names not doing the all dunk contest anymore. And I have to put blame on LeBron James. He's kind of where that started. You know what I mean? Like, before him, they were doing it. Kobe did it. Vince Carter did it. Tracy McGrady did it. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron kind of opened the door to where the best athletic freak that we all want to see do it, not doing it, is now okay. You know what I mean? We have And Zion kind of could have did what you said. He could have redirected it. You know what I mean? He could have restarted that. Okay, nah, early in your career, that big hype player, he should do the dunk contest. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's for the,
it
like I said
cannot
earlier.
hurt you. I don't. That's what I've never understood. Because some people say, "Oh, LeBron didn't do it because everybody would have expected him to win. And if he doesn't win, it's a shot at him and his legacy." No, it's not. Like, it's the dunk contest. We're gonna forget about it the next year. What are you talking about?
Who thinks LeBron James isn't LeBron James without the dunk contest? Like,
Yeah, like
come on, a dunk contest
like,
lost. We'd have forgot all about it when he won his first chip or his first MVP.
You'd have
Yeah,
forgot about it by All-Star night when he wins MVP of that.
Exactly. It's like nobody
Like,
really. It can only help you. It can only enhance your
only
legacy.
helps,
It can only be a feather in the cap. That's like one of those things. All right, take Larry Bird.
Yep.
Larry Bird is Larry Legend for a reason. He was called Larry Legend while he was still playing. Like the guy was Larry Bird. But just a little feather in the cap, a little part of that is the 3-point contest that he won when he walked in the locker room and said, "Okay, who's winning second?"
Yep.
When he went out there with his warm-ups on and won a 3-point. Like those are just little feathers in the cap that kind of enhances the mystique, the legacy.
It's like,
I think that's when,
like we all know Steph's the greatest shooter. He continues to be in the 3-point contest. You know what I mean? Like, he does not shy away from that because of he's reached the peak of his celebrity and his game and everything. He doesn't just say, "Oh, I don't need that anymore." Like Ray Allen, he's done it. What's my man name? Reggie Miller, he's done it. Like, we've never seen the top 3-point shooters not do the 3-point contest. Like, and honestly, before LeBron, we didn't see the dunkers not do it. Like,
they all the greatest dunkers did it.
Yeah, like we could go back to Dr. J or Dominique Wilkins, like, and I already brought up Vince and Tracy. It's always something that they did. Even somebody who got robbed, Andre Iguodala. Like, we knew he was a big time athletic dunker. He did it. Yes, they stole it and gave it to Nate Robinson because he was a little guy. All of that, cool, but he still did it. Dwight Howard, he did it. Blake Griffin, he did it. Blake Griffin didn't win. Do we trip? No. You know what I mean? Like,
he was the best dunker in game at the time.
Like, no one thinks about it. Like, so I hate that LeBron kind of started this trend of, "Oh, I don't got to do that," because now we're seeing it's trickled down. Zion is the generation that watches him and watched him not do that. That now makes it feel acceptable for him not to do it.
Yeah, I think that, to me, I don't think that the dunk. I don't know if the dunk contest survives this. I don't know if it could ever be. The dunk contest used to be the highlight of All-Star Weekend. Now it's kind of the warm-up to the 3-point and then the game. Because it's like, to me, the 3-point is the highlight to me, because you got some of the biggest stars and the best guys in the 3-point.
Are there any? I think at a point, yes, we were there, that we were kind of descending, but I kind of think Zach LaVine and Gordon brought it back. You know,
big time.
They kind of brought the swing back. So I think this year may be a down one, but I do think in a more normal year, you may get Zion may not end up being like LeBron and never doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it may tick back up and we get those names. So I'm not going to give up on it yet, but I do agree that the focus of All-Star Weekend Saturday night is the 3-point shootout, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be dope because you got let me look at the field again, because I was just looking at it.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I just know Steph's in it, and when he's in it, you better come prepared.
I thought it was Steph and Seth.
I'm not gonna say I know. I do not. I cannot say I know.
Maybe not. Maybe that was wishful thinking on my part. But I know you got. I know you got the pretty much, a who's who of the best shooters. And then randomly you got, to me, the funniest part and the most fun part for me, you got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who, to me, I wouldn't normally think of them as 3-point guys, but I think
Levine. I think Levine's in it this year, right?
Levine's been it before. I believe he was last year or the year before. So he's been in it.
the skills competition is interesting because of the different positions that are taking part, and that's what always interests me to see big men be as skillful as they are nowadays. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Bam won it last year.
Yep. Yes, he did.
So yeah, I'm the skills position is the skills competition is fun. I'm looking forward to that. I do kind of wish that they did the Rising Stars game. I get why they didn't 100%, but I kind
Yeah.
of wish that they did just because
They
that's something
named
else.
they did name the players
Yeah, they
for
really did,
USA
but
and World, and I'm kind of not sure that it's fully taken out. Because when I seen them do the roster, it kind of was like, wait, if you're not having a game, why are we doing the roster and why are we doing it this way? Why not just name them? You know what I mean? Why separate USA and
yeah,
World if it's
USA and
not going to
World.
be a game? Like that kind of was confusing to me. And I'm gonna leave it there. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe I missed something that says that it is happening. I'm
Yeah,
not
from what I
sure.
understand, it's not happening. They just
Yeah,
named the
that
team.
was my thought process also that they were not doing it this year, and I fully understand why. This is not a normal All-Star weekend. It's not a normal anything right now. We're slowly getting back to normal, but I get why you did not add an extra event with that many more people that have to come and all of that type of stuff that we're dealing with COVID. So fully understandable. Um, but it's NBA All-Star weekend. It's the best All-Star game, best All-Star weekend in all of pro sports. And as a basketball nut that I am, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I'm just
excited.
happy to have
I'm
it, man.
glad that it's happening. Exactly.
I'm just happy to have it. Yeah, like I said, I talk all this talk, but I'm gonna be sitting in front of the TV during halftime when they do the slam dunk. I'm gonna watch the 3-point. I'm gonna watch the skills. I'm watching every give me all you can give me. I'm watching it all. So I'm in no way down on it. I'm just I know that it could have been better. Especially the fact that there's no fans and they could have it could have been a little bit better, but. Like I said, I'm here for it. I'm gonna be here to watch it. Now, one more.
Yeah, I think my headphones like tripped out, but I know we were close to.
You good?
You hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna go to About That Life. I'm gonna do Carris Levert, and then we finish up there. All right. I'm gonna start with that. All right. So yeah of course looking forward to All Star. I mean we'll definitely talk about what the happenings next time we talk. But maybe we'll hop on and do a live or something on IG. So everybody, keep a lookout to my IG at ace_ADSL. Marcus at Trials of Mark. Maybe we'll do a live or something sometime All-Star weekend to talk, chop it up a little bit about what's going on, what happened, if anything cool happens.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
talk
I
about
think during halftime we should do that for the contest. That would be
it.
dope.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. That's a good idea. So maybe we'll do that. We'll keep everybody posted if we decide to do that. I do want to do About That Life. We took a little break during Black History Month to highlight, some accomplishments. But I want to do a About That Life, a big About That Life to Carris Levert. Like we all know, earlier this season, the same trade that brought James Harden to the Nets also included Carris Levert. He actually went from the Nets to the Rockets and then on to the Pacers for Oladipo. But I do want to highlight him and what happened with ordeal he went through with that trade. In that physical, they did find a mass on his. I'm sorry, I don't want to get this wrong. I think it was his kidney. What
Yes.
is? Okay, so it was a mass in his kidney. It did turn out to be cancerous, so they did go in and do a surgery. Thankfully, it was a successful surgery. It's cancer free, and the newest report is that he'll be able to. Looks like he'll be able to return to make his debut with the Pacers in the second half of the season after the All-Star break. And to me, that's the definition of About That Life. I love to see it. I'm so glad that one, that they caught it, with the physical, and he was able to get taken care of, and then two, that he's able to get back to the court so quickly.
Yeah, for me, like you said, number one is that they found it. It sounds like if he didn't get traded, that this could have been something that kept lingering and he would have not known about. I mean, if he'd have stayed on the Nets, he didn't have to get a physical, you know what I mean? Like, things played out in
Exactly.
a way that ended up helping him in his life long term, because that's always number one. Yeah, we love sports. Yeah, we know that's their job. They enjoy it, but life is number one. The man has loved ones that care about him way more than any of us do as an athlete. So I just am thankful that they found it and they were able to assess it quickly. And he's a young man, so his body was able to respond well to what they needed to do to get him back on his feet. We know we've seen cancer do a lot of things to a lot of different people, and it doesn't always end the same way that it's ending for Levert. So I definitely am happy about that. I do want to say it's amazing that he's potentially coming back this season. Like, I kind of thought once this happened that was it for him this year. And the fact that he's going to be back on the court it's a nod to his ability to fight back, and it's also a nod to where medicine is right now in the world. Like, to be able to have something found that quickly and something addressed and fixed that quickly is amazing. From a basketball perspective, he's a very good player, and it kind of will make the Pacers a different type of team in the second half and come playoff time.
Big boost.
Yeah, like right now I think they're the 6th seed or 5th seed right now. I don't know if they're going to change too much seeding wise because the top 4 kind of locked up. But it will change how they are seen in a matchup. You know what I mean? Like, that 3 seed who plays them in the first round cannot look at it like a pushover. Like, if you got to deal with Brogdon, Levert, and Sabonis, that's a formidable 3. And then Turner also. So he's definitely about that life of being able to fight through and get back on the court like he has. It's magnificent, and I just hope and ask God to continue to get that young man good health.
Sure, real talk though. All blessings to that man. And not only, and to me, it's like, when I first heard that, I'm like, damn, as much as you just hate to hear something like that at all, to him especially, I hate it had to be him, because, like we already know, he dealt with a terrible injury in college that affected his draft stock and potentially could have kept him out of the league. He did end up getting drafted to the league. Then he dealt with a horrible injury last season, and was able to make it back to the court and play in the bubble and play well and ball, one of the best players in the bubble that season. And then now this, like, to me, can you say is he the toughest guy in the NBA? He might be the toughest kid in the NBA. Like, there's no quitting that kid, absolutely none.
Yeah,
like,
he's come through with a lot of adversity, man. It's amazing, and like you said, his toughness cannot be questioned.
Yeah, and it's like, you just we wish the best for him at every level. And I just can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see him back on the court. So like I said, once again, definitely 100% about that life for me. But yeah, let's wrap it up on that note. And we'll be back. Like I said, we'll pop in All-Star. I'm not doing nothing, so I'll be on watching the game. So we'll do a quick live. We'll chop it up. Talk about the first half of the game, what might go in the second half. Talk about that dunk contest, that we wish Zion was in, but whatever. But other than that, man, anything else you wanna hit?
Nah, man, we did it. I think we hit everything. Looking forward to All-Star Weekend coming up. Looking forward to NFL free agency about to kick off soon too. We go see this quarterback carousel of movement continue to happen to see where guys ended up landing. Other than that, I think sports world always brings us new stuff every day, every week. So something else is going to pop up before we know
it. Always something. But anyway, man, we out of here. And, you guys check us out, man. Catch us on social media. Join the conversation. Twitter, About That Sports Life, ABTDATSPRTSLIFE. YouTube and Facebook under About That Sports Life. Email any questions, comments, concerns, topics, whatever. Info at aboutthatsportslife.com. And you can always check out replays of the show on our site, www.aboutthatsportslife.com. So check us out there, and we'll be back.
Peace. Yeah. Damn headphones. I got the the ding ding where it says like the thing's turning down. Yeah, I didn't remember last time like that had